How do we know what books make up the Bible? What books belong in the canon of Scripture? Canon from the Greek word meaning measuring stick. I used to think that at the time of Christ, there was an accepted Jewish canon, that all Jews believed the same books belonged in the Hebrew Scriptures. But this isn't the case. Different groups believed in different canons. For example, the Sadducees only believed the first 5 books of the Old Testament. The Torah were authoritative, inspired by God. 300 years before the time of Christ, Greek scholars developed a type of canon when they wanted to translate the scriptures into Greek for Greek-speaking Jews. And so to do so, they had to draw up a list of what books they were going to translate. We call this the Septuagint. So at the time of Christ, some Jews accepted the Septuagint, but others accepted different lists in different books of the Bible. Now, after the time of Christ, about 100 years later, the Jews decided they needed a Jewish canon. And so they drew up a list based on 2 criteria. Number 1, language. They only chose books that they could find written in Hebrew. And number 2, the time that it was written. They only accepted books written before Ezra and Nehemiah. Now, when the early Christian church is developing their canon, when they're praying to see what books are inspired by God, there were disagreements over what books to accept. In the New Testament, do we accept the book of Hebrews? For the Old Testament, do we follow the Hebrew canon or do we follow the Septuagint? In 393, the Council of Hippo determined 27 books make up the New Testament that we have today, and 46 books make up the Old, the Septuagint. And that list was reaffirmed by the Council of Carthage in 397 and by Pope Innocent I when he confirmed the list in 405. That list, the 46 books of the Old Testament, the 27 books of the New, that list remained uncontested for 1,000 years until Martin Luther challenged that canon. He adopted the Hebrew Scriptures, which meant certain books that were found in the Septuagint, Baruch, Wisdom, Judith, 1st and 2nd Maccabees, and others, are not found in today's Christian Bibles, non-Catholic Bibles. Catholic Bibles are bigger. Why? Because we follow the Septuagint. Now, the Council of Trent reaffirmed this list at the time of Martin Luther, not because we hadn't believed in this list before, but reaffirming it in the face of challenge. How do we know what books belong in the Bible? I think that St. Augustine says it best. When St. Augustine says, "For my part, I would not believe in the gospel, except as moved by the authority of the Catholic Church." And that's a little theology in 3 minutes. Hey friends, thanks for watching. If you like Theology in 3, please like, subscribe, and share. And leave your feedback in the comments because I would love to dialogue with you. There is a lot more content coming. God bless.